Continuing on with Cancer, which is a female sign associated with the element of water, which has everything to do with emotions. So we can be pretty miserable people. I wish I had learned early on to hide the level of compulsive thoughts and misery that I have recycled in my life, which happens with all cancers. Actually, all the water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But you can take care of a lot of that with mantras. So Cancer, what would be your mantra this week? Even though I'm afraid of the success, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of the success, I love and accept myself. What does that mean? Not sure, because it's my own sign. I'm not that clear. I'm clear up till now, but if I try to go further to find out what the success is, I'm basically going against my protocol. That I should never read, or any good psychic should never read something that they have an association with or that they have an emotional connection to. I don't know if you know this already, but all the years in which I was trained and worked as a psychic spy, I wasn't allowed to watch TV, read the newspapers or magazines. There were actual newspapers then and magazines, because that was information. And that meant that if somebody asked me to read something, I already had information, at which time I wasn't working with a clean vision. Well, you're not supposed to have a vision. I wasn't working with a clean field. It was full of information I had picked up from TV, etc. So you know how I used to watch TV? I used to watch it through a mirror. The TV was in front of my bed. There was a mirror here, and I'd look at the mirror and I could watch TV. That was my smart-ass kid part of me saying, you know what? I can't watch TV, so I'm not. I'm watching the mirror. Let's continue. Sneaky? Maybe I shouldn't have shared that story, but here goes. So we're going to continue on now with Scorpio, which is always an interesting sign because they're all about karma, other people's karma, helping to position other people to resolve their karma. Miami is a Scorpio city. We are a very interesting city. So Scorpio, what can we see? I see you kind of not holding your head, but one of your hands is touching your head on the right side, and you're kind of trying to shake your head because I think your third eye has woken up. Like you see more, you understand more, you see your stuff, you're not so happy. Yeah, you did stuff, it helped other people, but it didn't position you well. And you're kind of like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. And this mess that I'm in, I think I want to get out of it. So you're very thoughtful about your life, and you're apparently not willing to sacrifice yourself quite as much for other people as you have. I know we're going to get a lot of people saying that's not true. That's not Scorpio. They don't sacrifice themselves for anybody. They don't help anybody. They're all about themselves. They're crazy, and God, they're scary because they're so powerful. Yeah, they have actually sacrificed themselves for other people, positioning other people, kicking other people around, and trying to get people to wake up. But I think they're not going to do that anymore. So you can have a really different son, daughter, friend, mate, if you're with a Scorpio. Very different from here on out. It's going to just be very different. It's going to be good for the Scorpios. And it may be even better for those of you that are with Scorpios, because they're not going to be trying to show you what you're doing wrong that gets you into trouble. They're going to do what everybody else does, pretend they didn't notice, or maybe they didn't see it. So you're not going to have your karmic guardian, but it may be easier to deal with Scorpios from here on out because they're no longer going to be misbehaving as much. What you call misbehaving, which really is positioning the people around Scorpio to get exactly what they need, which might be a kick in the pants. Good for you, Scorpio. You also deserve to be happy, especially now at end times. This whole cycle is ending. This ridiculous game of life that we live, where we can't be honest, where we have to stare at the people we love all the way over there rather than right next to us, where we were never taught that if you love somebody a lot, you can also hate them a lot. That will end soon. But let's continue with the last sign, which is Pisces, which is the most evolved of all the signs in terms of spirituality. Pisces, you actually look much better than you've looked before. You have a lot of dark mind streams coming out of your third eye, and they are black. You're depressed. The third eye is all about psychic abilities, the ability to see clairvoyance, being able to see multidimensionally. And Pisces, what you can see is, forget being satisfactory. What you can see, Pisces, is frightening. We're in the apocalypse. We're in end times. Makes sense? The rest of you looks pretty clean. So I would take care of that depression. So I would do the mantra, even though I'm afraid. I love and accept myself, because what you see is making you frightened. So rather than depression, let's go to what's underneath that, which is fear. And I'm going to remind you again that it has been said that humans really only have one emotion, and that is fear. And once something happens, they become frightened, and they do one of two things. They either repress their fear, which throws them into depression, or they express it and it throws them into anger and rage, etc. Generally, the women will do the depression thing, the men will do the anger thing, frustrated. You can do both. Pisces, you're afraid for the planet, you're afraid for your loved ones. You're not so afraid for yourself. You've been in a lot of lifetimes and you've risen above that. This is all about me. Pisces are not all about them. They may look like they are, but they're not.